Welcome to another riveting edition of My Face on your computer screen. This is Buddy Thayer of A Van Down by the River Podcasts at a Van Down by the River Podcast.com. Thank you for joining us yet again for a very special edition of Three Dudes Brews. This is the episode 5. This is us putting out Three Dudes Brews episode 5. Excuse me when I take a quick sip of this. Oh, I'm drinking a lovely sour ale. It's got like a mango tinge. Really delicious. So you're not gonna have to look at me for very long and my beautiful face, because I'm going to play for you. I'm going to stream for you, if you will, the episode 5 of Three Dudes Brews, which is coming up right now. Thank you for looking at my face and enjoy the show.
Anytime you're ready, buddy, go ahead and bring us on.
Welcome to our 5th edition of Three Dudes Brews, an epic liquid journey, if you will. 3 different perspectives, 3 different brews, various styles of beer, our celebration of each and every one of them, our perspective of each and every one of them, and our appreciation of the men and women who bring them to us. I am your co-host, Buddy Thayer, and I'm happy to bring with me 2 fantastic dudes.
Costa Singly and myself, and I know it. So thanks everybody for joining us today. As you guys know, we are here at Black Pond Brews. So the address here is 1001 Hartford Pike in Dayville, Connecticut. So if you guys haven't been here yet, you definitely want to come on out, check it out. Leave your comfort zone, folks. If you're still in Rhode Island, get out and explore a little bit.
Right over the border. It's just like 3 miles over the border.
It's like the easiest trip in the world to get here. So today we are here with one of the owners, Corey. Corey, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for thinking of us to be on your podcast.
Oh, definitely. So definitely appreciate it. So we're gonna do like we always do. We have the coveted top cut, which is still in my possession. It's going to remain this way today. I don't care what anybody says. It's coming home the buddy. They think it's coming home the buddy. It's not coming home. So we're going to do that. Of course, as we have some delicious beer in front of us to taste and to try today to see who can get the coveted top cut. And as we're doing this, we're going through this, we're going to talk some more, as we always do. And so, Corey, I can't say enough. Thank you. Thanks. So when did you guys open?
So we opened our original location back in 2014. We were in downtown Danielson, really small operation we had going on there. After a few years of kind of growing our name and our recognition throughout the community, we started looking to expand. We still wanted to stay within the town of Killingly. So we found this building here in Dayville, which is just in northern Killingly. And we fell in love with it when we found it. And we purchased it right before the world shut down in 2020. Yeah. And took our time building it out the way we liked it. We opened at the end of 2021.
So let me ask something. So you started small and big in Danielson. Did you have 12 beers on your menu now? Did you have 12 beers to start with?
When we first started, we had 4, and things were a lot different back then. We couldn't serve like full beers back then, and so we just did samples and growler fills, and that's how we got started. At the old spot, when we first opened, we had like one section of the basement. We didn't even have the whole floor, and we had a brew room and our tasting room in the same spot. So all of our tanks were sitting around this little desk setup where we had our taps and we could do our samplings and everything like that. Over time, we ended up taking over the remainder of the basement, and we added we added 4 taps, and we started serving pints, adding food trucks, doing more events and things like that.
Cool. Wouldn't know anything in your minute say that was on your rhythm.
Right now, I would say the only one that has, actually, no, I'll take that back. We have a few that,
Flagship. You have a few flagship.
yeah. So Machu Picchu, our jalapeno saison, we've been making that one forever. That one is pretty much on tap 100% of the time. Old location in here. That's like the most recognized beer that we have. We also have been doing our Oktoberfest every year, basically since we opened. So Bear Branches is our Maple Oktoberfest. Very traditional outside of the maple. We have a Hella's lager called Hella that we've been making a long time. So yeah, we've got a few that have survived, but we've always been kind of like experimenting and trying out new things as well. So yeah,
The best way to find what your next thing is going to be, to try something out. And if it works, great. If it fails, well, you tried.
yeah.
And so I want to go back to something you said real quick, that in your first place, you guys were only able to do half pours. Was that a legal thing? Was it a Connecticut law that what?
Yeah, it was. So when we opened, they had just changed the law to allow breweries to serve full pints.
What's that? This, my friend.
If you had everything in the same spot, you couldn't sell to the public. So what they did to get around it, sneak the son of bitches, right, Blair, was that you bought wooden nickels.
Right.
It's kind of like, a Japanese pachinko parlor kind of scenario going on, where you got these things and you exchange for something else. So you bought wooden nickels, and then they had a menu, and it was like, oh, well, this beer is 3 nickels.
Right.
So you're paying for the wooden nickels, but then you're exchanging them for the beer.
It's kind of like buying a plastic baggie on Craigslist, and it just happens to have pot in it,
Right? Exactly. So, I'm only paid for the baggie. Hold on. Something else. You did not get there. I didn't know what it was. Damn you, Craigslist. So damn you. Yeah.
Yeah, Brad Pitt's Ziploc bag. So it's that's it.
Well, at least they didn't come filled with baby oil. Yeah. So too soon. Oh no, it's not really. It's too soon. I mean, yeah, it's a little crazy. So but that's great though. You guys got to build the place out the way you liked, the way you wanted it. Now I'm not gonna lie, you look at it from the outside, and it's kind of like
unassuming,
very unassuming. You see it, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. But then you get inside. This is very secret. Let me tell you, you guys, you'll see the pictures. We're gonna throw them up here. It is fantastic in here. It is definitely homey. It's definitely warm and inviting. It's a place that I can easily see myself coming in here, hanging out for hours at a time.
Right.
Just coming up to the bar.
Like beer.
Yeah. This isn't just a brew house. This is also a kitchen as well. You also have it's a full restaurant here as well, correct?
That's right. Yeah. When we moved, we weren't really necessarily planning on putting a kitchen in, but when we're kind of laying the space out, we're like, we've got the room for it. And a friend of mine that I grew up with, his name's Luke. He helped us kind of like get the kitchen opening, and helped us kind of develop a menu, and letting us know like kind of like a consulting thing that he did to help us get our feet wet with the kitchen. So yeah, we've got the full kitchen. We do like burgers, a lot of pub food, like pretzel bites and French fries, flatbread pizzas. We do some like German food. So we have Wiener Schnitzel. And we'll do different specials throughout the year, depending on what events we have going on. We also do catering. So we've been catering a lot of weddings off-site. We do like rehearsal dinner here. We have a separate side room where people can rent it for parties and things like that, and we cater those as well. So that has definitely been a much larger part of our business than I think we really anticipated when we got started. But it's really worked out well.
Do you find that having the kitchen here is helping to push the sales of the beer? Because I know that when we go to places, if there's no salute, there are times where
Right. You get hungry and you're like, yeah. That's what we noticed when we were at our old location is like on a Saturday night, from like 3 to 6, we'd be busy. And then dare time rolls around, the place would just empty out. And then people would start coming back in as we were getting ready to close. So it was like, So definitely,
They were leaving a facility and they were going somewhere to eat.
yeah. And like, we were talking before you started recording, like you can bring your own food to a lot of those places, but it's just not like, it's not convenient.
Right.
And like a lot of people do delivery, especially when like you're out in Providence, like there's places around here. There's not a lot of places that deliver. So, like if you're hungry and it's dinner time, you're going to just go somewhere else and you're not going to come back. So, it was definitely something that we really wanted to do. And also it allows us to have a full liquor license. So, like Connecticut's got like a lot of restrictions for what breweries can serve at their facilities. So, but having a restaurant allows you to have the full liquor permit. So,
I can't take it no more. We're gonna start digging.
You guys are talking about being hungry. I'm thirsty.
Hold on. So, which way are we starting?
To the left or right?
We do it left to right. Okay, everybody dive in because I can't take it no more. I got beers.
I've been looking at it. You guys sell that? You guys talking about hunger? I'm talking about thirst.
Well, and that's the other part about the food. The food. And cheers, cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right.
cheers.
We started talking about food and you pairings, but food sells drink.
Yeah.
So
Right.
and you got your drink. Now you got your food. You start, you get the salty though. You get something that's making you more thirsty. And now you buy it. Exactly. So it's a twofold thing. I'm getting fed. You're getting more beer sales because now I'm hungry and I'm thirsty and I'm want to work.
Right.
And you're more apt to stay for a longer time. You're not going to be here for an hour and have a couple of beer. Okay, I'm hungry. Hey guys, I got to leave. It's right here, and you can stay. And again, you're not getting at least toxic. So
Exactly. Yeah.
What do you think, Ed?
I think it's delicious.
Yeah, I'll go too.
It's good. You got it.
look at that color.
I mean, it's
Hazy and
it's gorgeous. Now it's got some nice lacing coming down. I only took a sip. I mean,
I've already finished mine.
wow, everything quite delicious. So, buddy, definitally likes that one.
Yes, a little bit of bottom.
Did you taste it, buddy?
But I think it's one or the other, and I wanted to add a little bit of to compare for later on. But
well, that's what I'm doing.
That's usually what we do. But he's like,
it was very good.
So, how exactly did you get started in brewing? With a lot of people read us on brewers or work in one, another brewery, and then branch off and do their own thing. How exactly would you get started?
Yeah, I'd say our path was like pretty typical in that regard. My co-founder Mike got a Mr. Beer kit for Christmas.
Austin Beer, his kit seems to be like
Yeah, that's the catalyst for right. That's the gateway drug for sure.
Yeah.
And he invited like a bunch of people to come, do the first brew day or whatever, and I was the only one who had any interest in it, I guess. So we started brewing. First few beers obviously were awful. It's a given. But you get the bug, and once you get that first one that's good, you're like, oh man, now I can do it again.
now if I get some better stuff.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Right. So then we started doing homebrew competitions and things like that. We were winning ribbons in like every competition that we entered. At that time, there weren't very many breweries in Connecticut, and there were like basically none in this part of the state. So we saw that if there's people in this area that are like us that like good beer, then we could be that one place for people to actually be able to come. So yeah, when we opened in 2014, and then it's been like crazy. So this is our 10th anniversary. Yeah, we had our 10th anniversary back in July.
Yeah, congrats. Yeah, that was good. 10 years. That's a milestone, especially these days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially making you through the pandemic.
And we talking.
So you guys were opening up this location, as we say, in the middle of the pandemic, right?
Yeah. So I mentioned earlier, we bought the building. It was like March 7th in 2020 or something like that. And they shut everything down. Like
2 weeks old.
Yeah. Like I think right before Patrick's Day or something like that. So,
yep.
It was a pretty scary time. I guess the only the silver lining part of it was that we had a bit more time to get in here to start doing renovations and things, because there wasn't quite as much doing. We didn't have a tap room or anything like that. We were only doing to-go sales for a while, which presented its own set of challenges. But so I'd say that was probably like our silver lining, was being able to get in here and
More time to focus.
yeah,
Because now you don't feel like you got that clock ticking. Hey, we got to get this open. We got to get this open. Now somebody else is kind of dictating when you could even get.
and
So,
Yeah, I mean, fermenters as well. I mean, in barrels, I can put the bulk suffer.
so we have a 10-barrel brew house. So with 4 fermenters, and then we have a pilot system that's 3 barrels with a few more fermenters. So we do the bulk of our brewing on the main system, and then when we want to test out new recipes, things like that, we'll like brew pilot batches. We just did a pilot batch of a double IPA that you can call Pull My Juice Box, and we got some fresh Alani hops shipped over, so they were picked and then overnighted, and we brewed with them the next day. So I just brewed that this week. So that's the kind of stuff we do on the pilot system. Some of them are more fun experimental stuff.
You guys have the collabs with other breweries going?
Yeah, we've done a number of collaborations. I don't have any right now, but most recent one we did was with Bare Hands up in Putnam.
Yeah, I like that.
We had a double IPA with them called Lesser of Two Evils. But we collaborated with Relic Brewing. We collaborated with Problem Solve Brewing. We did like a 5 brewery collaboration a while ago with basically all the Northeast Connecticut breweries. So it was us, Taylor Brook, Bare Hands, Suburgus Brewing, and Will Manic Brewing. So yeah.
So, if you had to pick one style, you could only have one style of beer the rest of your life. What could it be?
I would probably go for something like a Czech Pilsner.
Oh, boy.
I'm a Pilsner guy.
Second guy. Yes.
Yeah. I like it's like they're very well balanced and clean. They're crisp. You can have a bunch of them.
Yes.
I'm definitely a lager guy.
Yes. If I'm not drinking a sour, period, it's usually my thing is a lager and the same thing. And to me, if you could pull up a Czech Pilsner right, so I think you guys do it.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it's going to be a simple one, but so many people try and they just one. So many people fail in the basics. Right? It's like you can't guess the Czech Pilsner style, right? Yeah. I'm not holding on a lot of hope.
Yeah.
So, buddy, what would yours be, buddy? Oh, double IPA.
All day.
Figured that.
Citra Mosaic or Galaxies are really nice. Or like some of the Australian hops. I think Galaxy is Australian, right? They kind of they're a little bit more subtle, but not so like explosive as Citra is. But yes, all the aboves.
Yeah, right. Costas?
On the side, fruity beers.
Fruity? Oh, wait a minute. Okay.
Well,
IPAs?
no,
But that's kind of a broad.
it is a broad straight that I'm painting with that one. But
I use a 2-inch today. Pull it through the paint, wiggling it.
sours are usually lighter, they're refreshing. You can do, and again, I know sours are the French part of what you would call a beer, right?
It's the gateway beer. The gateway beer.
That's what you'll sell it. Yeah. Well, it's good at it. It's now it introduces you to things like to people to things that they may not when you try, and you allow there's no rules.
Yeah.
There's no rules. There's no box that you have to check off to call it a set.
So you can get a little bit more creative.
You get like you've got a cotton candy sauce, right? Yeah. So
That way.
it's cotton candy.
That
It's a beer. It's a beer that has cotton candy flavor. Yep. Right. So that's not going to be like you said, a Czech Pilsner that gets the training wheels on it.
Right.
So,
But it's more about the taste than it is about the
right.
like a typical traditional beer.
Fruits. You can do candy. You can do so many things.
And these are pancakes.
Right. Yeah.
that's
Yeah. So there's just so many things
Peanut butter and jelly.
with a sour ale, and
or be.
It gets up at.
I'm just
for me also the sour is where it's at.
So now, what's your inspiration? Where do you find inspiration in your next beer? So let's say tomorrow now, when you're going to like try something completely new, have you been thinking about it for a while? Does something like strike in the middle of the night? Like all of a sudden you woke up, you had a dream, you wrote it down, and you're like, oh my God,
Um,
I hit a chord there. You can tell.
Yeah.
See,
uh,
he's dreaming of.
yeah. So usually, I'll when something new hits the menu, it means that I've been thinking about it for a long time. Because like we have just like beers that we like need to brew. So usually when I'll come up with something, and then it might take like a couple months before I can fit it into the schedule or find out what kind of ingredients. Because sometimes it might be a seasonal beer, things like that. So, and then a lot of other beers that we come up with are like more of like a collaborative. So somebody to see, have an idea, and then you have a marker board in the production area where people write different beer ideas down. So I'll pull from that quite a bit, just so it's not just like one person coming up with everything, because you end up running a little stale after a while. So, yeah, that's I guess that's the long and short of it. Yeah.
Do you have anything right now to use that's living on maybe something seasonal, where it was the fall and winter that such years it could be fucking jointing?
For the most part, all of our like fall seasonals are either released or like ready to be released. The next one we have coming up is an apple cider donut sour.
Really? We're coming back.
Yeah.
It's another thing that's fascinating.
Yeah.
We're coming. I'm dying. People need to make. Excuse me. You need to make more. Sorry, apple cider or hard cider.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did that for the first time last year, and it was really, really popular. So we'll be bringing that one back. So it should be on, early October. That would be back on tap and in cans. But for the winter, we usually start going a little darker. Last winter, we put out a peanut butter whoopie pie stout for the first time. That was really well received.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty cool. And then
Whoopie pie.
another one that is up on our idea board is strawberry lemon basil sour. So trying to get some of that.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's sour. You're right. It was strawberry. So
Basil, like, let's do like potatoes.
fantastic flavor combo, right? That savory element is something that I want to start getting.
Yeah, it's just, I heard the strawberry lemon and I'm like, oh, cool. He said basil.
I've had a basil before.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, that's just smart. That's
right.
Put it right on over.
Okay. Do you find yourself doing any food pairings?
Yeah, we've done.
Specific beers that you.
Hell, man. He's stealing my thunder again.
I mean, did you see me pick up the menu?
No, I didn't. Bullshit.
Face. I don't think I've ever seen that. You only had 7 officials, and there's 6 flags on the field. So
Everybody had something.
one of the officials really missed something. I swear to God,
This guy has like 2 notorious snack flags stealing my like that. I'm like, I'm just getting ready to say something and like, I'll let you finish now.
great minds think alike.
Yeah.
I'm so call it bullshit, but all right.
The George Washington thing.
Yeah, I know. Right? Yeah, that's right.
Abraham Lincoln.
So
Wait, though.
if you go back and you watch our episode 2, right? It's fun.
2, yeah. Fuck.
We had a question, and again, this
Wicked smart guy.
wicked smart guy over here
Something.
decided to steal my thunder. He took my answer. I still call shenanigans on that. But anyway, so food pairing. So go on, finish.
No, please.
No,
Nope. Food pairings. So, do you find that you do food pairings with the beers that you have? Because we've been to a lot. I've done food pairings where I've had beer and ice cream, beer and chocolates, stuff like that. Now, do you find yourself doing beer pairings with the food that you have? Do you have suggestions that you do with the food items?
Sure, yeah. So we've done a bunch of different types of specific pairings before. We have like a couple of cheese nights where we did like beer and cheese pairings. So we done sometimes we'll do occasionally a couple times a year we do a bottle release, and a bottle is typically something that we'll make that's meant for aging. So it might be a barrel aged beer or like a really traditional funky sour, things like that are a little bit more special. So they go into a nice bottle and you can keep it in your wine cellar, things like that. So we've done like beer dinners with that. So it's like 3 or 4 courses with a pairing along the way, with that special bottle release being the main pairing. And then as far as like our regular menu, we have quite a few different items on our menu that are actually made with our beer. So with our pretzel bites, we have a beer cheese, and we use the Machu Picchu, the jalapeno saison. So it's like a spicy beer cheese. All of our Wiener Schnitzel is beer battered with our Hella Light. Our barbecue sauce is made with our Mr. Kitty Milk Stout. We make our own pickles with our Moves IPA. We're always that's like one of the more fun parts, and being able to experiment with cooking and pairing and things like that. So,
Not gonna lie, you had me at food. Starch, cheese, beer. Oh yeah.
all copy.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm looking over here and I'm like, so I've got the menu cheating, but I'm looking and I'm like, beer battered schnitzel. Yes, please. No, Wiener Schnitzel. Yes, please.
You've heard of the little.
I believe this work is actually not scripted. We are unscripted and live. Mr. Kitty pulled pork. How can you, first off, you can't go wrong with pulled pork, right? Love pulled pork. So, I know. I was getting ready to say, I can't see her. She's off camera right now. But I have a feeling, are you the genius behind the food right now? No, she's saying.
But that's the Lord.
So
I'm just his authority into work.
Acolyte, I love it. So on Padawan order. So that is fantastic. So
This is the fully stoked coffee man.
oh, that's all of it. Oh yeah, we'll get to that later. So sure. I mean,
That's
the simple fact that we've talked about this before, that you can go, you can sit down, you can have a beer, you can have some food. For example, my wife doesn't really drink. Very rarely does my wife have anything, and definitely it's never going to be a beer. I can literally only think of one beer that she's ever tasted of mine, and it was a pumpkin beer that we had in Salem. They're no longer there, but had this like cinnamon sugar rim on it, and she literally grabbed it from me. Oh yeah, and the cinnamon breast. She doesn't drink, and so next thing you know, she took a sip, and the cinnamon sugar and the beer, the pumpkin sugar. She's like, next thing you know, she's like, took like half my beer. I'm like, do you want me to order you one? So I'll drink yours. Okay, but for her to come with me, and I can have a couple beers. She can still eat. She can have food. There's not alcoholic stuff on the menu for those that don't drink. So it's a good thing. I mean, and it's a very, I don't want to say eclectic, but it's a very various, diverse menu. I mean, there's something on here for everybody. And if you can't find something to order off of this, you just don't like food. So I know. I'm sorry.
We were talking earlier, Oscar, about how you have a Spurs tip beer, which I've only seen one at a time when I was in Boston.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned that you work farms. So can you tell us about your Spurs tip beer? Is there story behind them?
Yeah.
I'm finding that to be fascinating. That's an old school and grind. You have
Very old.
that, goes back, to the founding fathers that are, and big beer making. Sure. So
Yeah, so going way back, we one time or once or twice threw a beer. We called it Old Putz Reserve. So we have a brown ale called Israel Putnam. He was a Revolutionary War general. He was from this area, and we did old colonial style beer called Old Putz Reserve. And that was a beer that we brewed with spruce tips, but also like deli wheat, molasses, pear, and rye. When they first came over, they would brew with whatever they could, because they hadn't everything hadn't really been established yet. So like anything you could get like sugar and starch from, they would make beer with. So and then we also had a wild yeast in that. So it was like a really like interesting, like complex beer. But going back to the spruce beer that we have on tap right now, after I graduated college, a friend of mine, his family owned a Christmas tree farm, and there was a house like way deep in the woods there. And I moved in with him, and it was like pretty debauchery, you know, like we were like, you know, was fresh out of college and living nowhere. And yeah, it was pretty nuts. But we started home brewing, and I had read about spruce beers, and so I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to make a beer with spruce tips. But I went around the farm in the spring picking the new growth, which is what you use when you make a spruce beer, is the new growth spruce tips. And went around trying other different trees, like pulling the tips off and like kind of cracking them open and smelling them to see if any of them like were appealing. And I came across a field of it's called concolor fir. And if you've ever had one of those Christmas trees in your house, it makes your house smell like tangerines. So it's like very, very citrusy. So I was like, this is definitely like the one to do. So I made it. So this beer is called Pine and Yearning, and it's a pale ale with a mix of spruce tips and concolor fir tips.
Which, by the way, is one of the ones that we're trying very delicious, right? Very so. You know, that kind of answers my question, because I'm thinking, okay, you're doing a spruce tip beer, but where the hell are you getting a spruce tip?
Yeah,
you know, is there like some online Amazon shop where you can buy spruce tips, or are you going out to the woods and just plucking pine trees? So
you can buy spruce tips online, or there's like a lot of like local farmers and things like that you can buy it from. The concolor fir is the tough one to find. You basically like those grow on Christmas tree farms. They are a pretty like desirable Christmas tree. The needles are a bit soft. And like I said, the aromatics from that tree are really nice. So if you ever have one in your house, you like, once you get one in there, you like kind of stick with that because it just smells so nice and they're pretty trees. But where else? And you can link them with.
Oh,
right. Oh, yeah.
You know, now I'm going to have to recommend seeing if we can find one of those trees, because my wife actually wants to do a live tree for the first time. We've never done a real Christmas tree in the house. You know, we always grew up. Yeah, you know, we lived in the city.
Yeah.
You get the fake trees every year. You get away. So I'll have to remember that. I'll have to tell her. So, you know, figure it out here for Christmas. I mean, the holidays are coming up soon, and it's too fast for me.
Yeah.
You know, but so I have another little thing we're going to do. So for the first time, we're going to do a little word association.
Oh, boy.
I'll jump in. Oh, boy. So for those of you who don't know, yeah, we're gonna get a little deep dive into Corey's psyche. So, yeah, insert effect here, you know. So, I want you to say the very first thing. Don't think about it. Very first thing comes to mind when I say these words. Okay, mug,
Face.
All right, there you go. Delicious.
Pilsner.
Okay. Harsh.
Next.
We'll come back to that.
Not really
Funky.
Barrel aged sour.
Cadillac.
Converter.
Beer.
Good.
Attaboy. All right, harsh. Coming back to it.
Harsh. Let's see.
Yes, slow bits.
Yeah. I don't know. A bad made beer.
Yeah, definitely.
No names being dropped or anything.
No.
Beer. I mean, I've been made for going to so. Yeah.
My first Mr. Beer kit.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Beer. There you go. That's hard. Yeah, the first one that it was like the kit was a pale ale. And, you know, of course, like we're the creative type. So a pale ale was not good enough. So we added a bunch of shit. And it was better. It was like cinnamon and orange peels and nutmeg. I don't know what the hell we were thinking, but it was around the holidays, I guess, because it was right after Christmas. So I guess that was what was in our head. And so I don't know if it would have been any good if we didn't put that stuff in there, but it definitely didn't help.
So I was in Korea when I had my Mr. Beer kit experience. So people are coming and going all the time. You know, you do your time there, and as you're leaving, you know, you start selling stuff that you don't want to take back or whatever. So somebody on the base had a Mr. Beer kit. So me and a couple of buddies were like, "Oh shit, he's got two. One of them's not even open yet." So like, well, let's brew beer without opening. What could possibly go wrong? Jesus. Yeah. So
it went.
it went sideways. Yeah, it was awful. So we tried, and it came to bottling day and all that stuff, and the plastic bottles, the plastic bottles they come with, right? Yeah, it looks like you should just be putting root beer in them instead. It did not work.
I think anybody who has been a home brewer has had failing this. But so is,
I think it's a one.
Is that?
become
I'm sorry, I was late spinning about here, and I noticed some like non-beer.
Yes.
You do good whiskey. You do good.
Yeah.
liquor license.
Liquor license. So
On a good deal.
we're all into the finer things in life, right? So we have some nice scotch and bourbon and whiskey, and even some like nicer tequila and things like that. We have a mezcal right now I'm really into. It's called El Duo. But yeah, I'm personally into like the smoky stuff.
Yeah.
So like you pop open the bottle, I'm gonna smell it from across the room.
It sounds like a campfire.
Yeah.
Sitting in front of all.
Yep.
Right.
So that's what I'm into. But a lot of the other guys are into like bourbon and rye whiskey and things like that too. So yeah, we're always kind of like putting on a smattering of different types.
So that's my thing. If I'm not drinking beer, I'm a bourbon guy. I do like my bourbons. Scotch, I got turned on to Scotch back in 2009, 2010. I never really had Scotch before that. I'm a snob when it comes to Scotch.
Mm.
If it's not a single malt,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, blends. There are exceptions. Some Johnny Walker blends I do like. For the most part, though, if it's not a single net, I'm sorry. He's two grams. So rum on Theo. I'm just kidding. I like Scotch. I like whiskey.
This one that was not back festival.
Yep.
I bought a bottle of that too.
I like shit.
We usually come with a guy with like 4 different cameras, microphones. Cheers to Joe. I don't have a beer to fill, but cheers to Joe.
Hold on. Yes. Congratulations.
Keep going. His baby was born. Emma Lynn Britland was born.
Cake chair.
4.2 pounds. Cheers. I'll cheers to that.
Oh, no. It's bad juice.
Oh, but cheers to Emma Lynn Britland born 4.2 pounds on Wednesdays at the Lake Hip. Congratulations, Kara and Joe.
Yes.
I got that to Joe's bachelor party. We went to Boston the weekend, played golf, and in Dartmouth, the class of Dartmouth where the tea was invented. I went to like a Brews game.
The tea was actually invented in Dartmouth.
In Boston. Yeah.
That's something that had to be invented.
No, not Dartmouth. Dorchester. I'm like, yeah, not Dartmouth.
But yeah, good times. We got
Fun history about this building. When you go to a shoe store and they have those metal measurers, that was invented in this building and they manufactured it here.
Oh yeah. Honestly, you learn something every day, guys. Come on now. Who would have thought that?
Right.
Speaking of learning, I think we need to learn who's going to be the Tayans. This episode.
It is. Does everybody have their votes? Oh, we have our votes. We ask you the timer folks.
No, I don't have mine because come on, bro. We got the names, but I don't know what the order is.
They're only cards.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We started at the left. We went left.
So big moves is different, right?
Yep.
And Pine and Yearning is the spruce tip one, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be you guessing.
I asked to know what the name is, if that's and
I probably said it. I hope that. Now, just so you guys know, Corey was looking at the board and he's like, how can I mess these guys up? So I hope that he definitely put some thought into trick. Which one is it? You're going to win back to pull out too, but he was not going to make it easy on us today. So you want the top cock, you got to earn the top cock.
The pine was identical.
Which one is the let's get tossed?
Okay, that sounds good. Easy to get.
All right.
Yeah, it's like nail it. Yeah.
Did you figure it out yet?
Did you write it down?
Did you write it down? It's
Just make sure I put these.
he's like, yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna switch one.
You know what happens when you start second guessing, right?
Yeah. There's no doubt.
All right. So I'll do this. You said we'll have Corey reveal for us, and then we'll see who was right on what. So the first one,
So starting from the left, we have Brews, which is our flagship IPA.
Okay. Well, you guys aren't out yet, but I have Moops as number one. I chased it. And Moops is number one. So put an X if you got it wrong. Check mark and for me because I got it right. So Moose is number one. All right. The second one.
The second one is Piney.
Yeah, buddy. Shit. And how did you miss that good? I'm not gonna lie. I had some reservations. Keep playing the mind, which means now I got two wrong. No.
See, that to me is interesting that it doesn't stick out as like totally obvious.
Right.
'Cause
Yeah.
that was what I was originally like looking to do, is like a non-hop IPA.
Is it?
So I got
And you're saying
all right. So number 3
is Big Nose.
is Let's Get Stomped.
Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, okay. So there's the new obsessed my God.
Wow.
I wasn't joking. He wasn't joking.
I mixed. All right. So moves and big moves.
I think I got them. I got one right.
How did you get right?
I feel sad. Landed. Oh my God.
All right. So we good.
So I think it was a good tell his time. So some honor, I guess. Corey wasn't joking around when he said he was going to make it hard on us. So
Most difficult so far.
this means I've got to do it. No,
It's like in church songs.
We were promised to be on today, so
yeah. Your new top copy quotes is now costing. Oh, so Kip Leader, well, it's been a great morning. I think really. I mean, so Rhode Islanders, New Englanders, if you get down to Connecticut, make sure you get your ass out here. Again, 1001 Hartford Pike in Dayville. It's like Boston to the extent it's a fourth. It's just go with the fourth thing. Yeah. It's all and you can it's like entering Boston, entering Connecticut, get watch on the roof. You can miss it. It's basically if you can go to it's the woods and then it's the Maori. I mean, there's nothing about it. It's like that. It's a straight shot. You know, do it in your store. Okay, guys. You email back and open it that. So do yourselves a favor. Come out, see Corey and the gang. Have some great beers. There's a dozen of them here on the menu. There's bound to be something that you're going to like. If not, probably shouldn't be drinking beer.
Yeah, and if you don't like beer, they also have full liquor license. Plenty of other alternatives
whiskey
and full restaurant menu, so that don't have to leave on crying something to eat.
Yeah. So come hungry, come thirsty. Maple Oktoberfest. I'm sorry. I'm telling you guys, get down here. Corey, thank you so much. It's been awesome, Corey. Thank you.
yeah, thank you guys.
It's and this is what we do. So we try to bring the fun. So like I said, we're gonna hang around a bit after this. We're gonna have some more. We're gonna take some more to go, and you guys got to get on here. So for 3D Brews, at that on, cost is saying really, buddy there. Cheers, and this is Corey. Cheers, folks.
Cheers.
Dude, thanks. Drink local.
Thank you for tuning in to another riveting edition of Three Dudes Brews, starring this face, Buddy Thayer, as wearing the same T-shirt in the episode. I wear the same T-shirt in almost every episode of Three Dudes Brews. Three Dudes Brews. Tune into our Facebook page, Three Dudes Brews. You can see the little logo up here in the corner here, like right over. Shit, you're not gonna see my finger, but it's like right. No. It's like right. Oh shit! It's like right there. Three Dudes Brews. Check us out for all of our events, things that we're doing, things that we're crafting, things that we have brewing at Three Dudes Brews. Some big news, some really big news coming out soon. But check out this episode 5. Watch it again. Study it. Look at all their great beers. They have 12 amazing beers down at Black Pond Brews. They're like extension of Foster. Go into the extension of Foster, which is also called Dayville, Connecticut, and They got beer for everybody. If you like double IPAs, they got double IPAs. If you like single IPAs, they got single IPAs. If you like pine tipped, Costas has been talking about this for years, and he finally found a place that had the pine tip beers. Blown away. Their flavors are outstanding. Maple Oktoberfest. You heard me say that towards the end of the show. Maple Oktoberfest. So it was a little Maple Oktoberfested out. Just absolutely tremendous crafted deliciousness. So head down Black Pond Brews, blackpondbrews.com, 1001 Hartford Pike, Dayville, Connecticut, United States, Connecticut, or vice versa. Wednesday, they're open 2 to 8. Thursday, they're open 2 to 10. Friday and Saturday, they're open 12 to 10. And Sundays, they're open 2 to 8. And as you heard us yapping about on the show, they have a really full kitchen. They have a full, beautiful alcoholic selection of fine, bourbons and scotches and all that stuff. And then they have some of the best beer that Eastern Connecticut has seen. So for Ed Padnod, for Costas Fiskoskas Sangaruli, this is Buddy Thayer. This has been episode 5 of Three Dudes Brews. I implore you to tune in to Three Dudes Brews in a Van Down by the River for all of our fantastic podcasting opportunities. The Ghost and the Goat next Tuesday, and the Fall Classic that we're going to unleash with some of our camping hootenanny, and we do a cider challenge that we did last week, and we're going to do a pumpkin challenge. We're going to mesh all that together in a pan, and we're going to bake that, and we're going to put it out as a fall special. Tune in for that in episode 6 from Really Big News, guys. Just stay tuned. This is Buddy Thayer. I am out of here. Tootles. Go, not Yankees.